What is up YouTube, and welcome to this Handmaid's Tale Season 4 finale video. It's been an interesting season that has focused for the latter half almost exclusively on the life of the refugees in Toronto and the Waterfords in their cozy little prison. I have thoroughly enjoyed this season with the escape to Canada after Chicago, although I would have liked a bit more time with the resistance in Chicago and the escape pushed back to maybe next season. But what we got I thought was great, and I spent every episode seething at Serena and Fred Waterford. The acting from everyone seems to have ramped up, with Elizabeth Moss's Kubrick stares being absolutely bone-chilling. Fred has so far got everything he wanted. While he has left Gilead, he has still landed on his feet, with him turning and giving info on Gilead's structure and policies in exchange for leniency and immunity. We pick up after last week with June in the court going to give her statement, which she couldn't even give in person because, well, she's now not important to them. It doesn't matter though, as Fred will get leniency and immunity for his abhorrent crimes, as he is incredibly invaluable, and June made an astute observation later in the episode that his info is more important than justice for her trauma that he inflicted on her. Now, she says how weak men make the world turn, hinting at the intelligence guy and also Fred, as he says he's on her side, but he can't be when he's working to get her abuser exonerated under the thinly kind of excuse that he gives, saying that he's gonna save lives, which are they though? However, we see June change sharply from the fighter only a few episodes ago to a meek and accepting person that Fred will be free and there's nothing she can do. Although we would know by episode's end, we would see the real June, or should I say Offred, actually return. As June settles down, Serena becomes bolder as Fred actually talks about how many times he would go to Jezebel's, but he's not telling the truth. He's lying through his teeth about everything, and Commander Lawrence was right to probably say, yeah, don't trust this guy's intelligence. Now, Serena speaks to the intelligence guy only for her to be angry at the way Fred is spoken to, saying he should be called Commander, but she's asked to explain why she wants to live with Fred as a family, and also asked for faster internet, saying he has constituents that, well, he has a right to converse with, which is just absolutely crazy. She's truly lost, and she has reverted back to herself pre-Gilead, someone who uses her freedoms for hate, which is much more of an interesting story than her simply turning good, which I thought they would do. Even despite this, I did think she had some hand in Fred losing his immunity, as she got off the phone with the ICC as he went to say goodbye, but she was waiting for her computer for the Zoom call that would never come. June had one last meeting with Fred, I imagine to try and get some sort of closure, as she is desperate to let go and live her life as a mother with Nicole and Luke. But just like the opening, she pretends to make her commander her world, and like the weak man he is, Fred falls for it, hook, line and sinker. He craves the power he has over her even while she is free, and he is not, for now at least. He opens up and says that they were simply both doing what they needed to survive. His abuse of her was reduced to him thinking that, hey, it was actually good for her, I was doing a good thing for her, which is disgusting. He's sorry she was hurt, just a little bit, but he just cares about himself. She is resolute in getting revenge after this. Part of me did think she was going to kill him, and this was a gripping finale, even if there was no nail-biting escape out of Gilead or the like. June contacts Commander Lawrence and invades the space of the guy who is actually trying to get the intelligence. She doesn't care about the invasion of privacy. He's lived a good life making decisions now, while June and the other women do live with the trauma. She makes him make a decision and see the lives he is actually saving as they arrange for a transfer of 22 women for Fred. I did laugh how June calls the commanders by their first name now, and Lawrence was pretty funny trying to actually get some monetary policies, which won't happen. However, 22 women safe and sound from the resistance is big. While Fred can give all the info he can, and some of it probably won't actually be true, they can save 22 lives for this one transfer. If he wants to save lives, well, they can do it right now. The writing for Lawrence, in my opinion, has been very off thus far, as he was sympathetic to the cause, but now I think he simply craves power in a different way. The monetary and political way, and not the vile ceremony way. He says how whatever happens to Fred, it won't be enough for her, and I do think that he's right. Deep down, I think she wanted to accept he's free and she's powerless, so she can go off and live her life. But there's nothing she can do, even after Fred won. But now she wants to nail him to the wall. She heads home and June says she wants to make him scared, which, well, by episode's end, well, he will be. The twist of Fred being taken back to Gilead was just glorious. He says he has rights. Oi pal, what about those women? Finally, this rapist is getting his just desserts. He has betrayed Gilead, and it shows how Gilead only care about themselves, and they only visited when Serena was pregnant. I did like how Gilead promised a fair trial, but the kicker is he wrote the laws of that trial, and how justice is served because, well, he pretty much wrote his own demise. In the book, he also wrote the laws for the executions for the Handmaids, which is exactly how he died. I mentioned how previously Lawrence's writing was weird. I thought we were going to get a Nick versus Lawrence power struggle, as Nick is seemingly pushed out for Lawrence, but hey, they're working together and they were both absolutely did dirty by Fred. Now, I loved how the eyes took him, and still Fred is rude to Nick, patronising him. I'm not saying Nick is a nice guy, it's just funny to see. However, he is brought to the woods as June wanted him to feel as scared as she did in the wood. She kisses Nick, which I still think is a play, as she has said how she needs to pretend to be the commander's world, and the woman refugees of Toronto come out and chase him. It's chilling, and June staring and saying, "Run," shivered me to my core. The women catch him and brutalise him. Honestly, good for her, as they do the same ritual they would as someone they would be forced to kill by an aunt. However, Luke would no doubt be furious about this, as she has murdered her abuser, which means there's no chance of their normality, I'd imagine, and God knows what the fallout would be after this. I guess we can argue that their laws, or Gilead could argue that the laws and the killers were enacting Gilead law, as they are exiled Gileadians. We got to see him on the wall, sans finger, and on him is the same message that was written by his former handmaid that she wrote on the wall before killing herself. Was this enough for the women? I don't know. Probably not, now that I imagine June would want to bring down the system, and it would make an intriguing, unpredictable season 5. I think we will see June take her place in the media and truly telling her story like Moira wanted her to do if she's not arrested. Overall, it was a strong season, but I want to see a bit more of Gilead, which I think we will, with Serena giving birth, and I can't wait to see her reaction to the finger and the whole wedding ring with her. Now, I imagine that Gilead will try to get that child back, and if they swap 22 women for Fred, I wonder what they would do to bring a natural born child in wedlock back into the country. Overall, I love this season. I really love this show, and I'd love to hear what you think down below. So if you enjoyed the video, please do drop a like. Please do subscribe with notifications on, and I'll see you soon, and goodbye.